All right, welcome to the Knacker Golfers podcast. Today is Labor Day weekend, and I am driving back from Bodega Bay. I went to Bodega Harbour Golf Links again, and it seems to be the only course I ever want to go to ever since I went to the Olympic Club and saw the U.S. Amateur. Because, it's August, September is here. September is just, a couple days away, and we literally have about a month left of this hot weather. And so, once it starts cooling down, maybe middle October, that's kind of when that's kind of when I'll go back out there. Maybe I'll do something. And, Mr. Producer's back in school, and I got to pick him up after every Friday. So, I had opportunities to go play, but I just didn't take them because, Fridays were a bit hectic coming off of work. And, trying to go somewhere where it's cool, you really have to, plan accordingly, and you have to sort of spend the night and whatever if you're going to be in a cool climate. And, with me, I'm a bit spoiled being in California. I'm only an hour and a half from the coast, if not 2 to 3 hours from the coast. Some people would kill to just have that kind of a commute just to be cool for, an afternoon or whatever. But anyway, it's also, sometimes I want to do it, sometimes I don't, and sometimes I'm not in the mood. You're not in the mood? I don't have a job. You're not in the mood? Well, you get in the mood. Anyway, I just wasn't in the mood sometimes. I think the last time I played golf, no, it wasn't. I played 18 holes at Diamond Oaks, and that was back in July. It wasn't horrible, but it was okay. And you know what? There was a opportunity to play with some folks. There's, I guess, a Sacramento chapter of the Random Golf Club that Eric Anders Lang is a part of. I'm wondering if he is franchising that name out to different groups in different big cities or whatever, for people to gather and play golf, like that whole Random Golf Club does, having 50 people play the first hole, or having 50 people play 9 holes and having it take 18 hours. I don't know, however long that takes. I've never done it. I like the concept of it, and I would like to see it. One of these days, maybe I'll do it. They had it at Bing Maloney tonight, and Bing Maloney is down in South Sacramento, and I'm hearing that Bing Maloney is pretty well maintained for the golf course that it is, and I'm also a part of this Sacramento area golfers group that's on Facebook. I just became a member. I'm not a member of it. I'm just noticing people posting about stuff, and they're making sort of news reports, news flashes about what they're seeing on various different golf courses in the area and how they are being maintained, and if their greens are being aerified or whatever it is. It's interesting to see that feedback, because there was a guy that was with the Sacramento Bee many years ago. I don't know if he still is there, but he would do like a weekly sort of golf course roundup on the conditioning of, various golf courses that he played, and he was like a sports writer for the Sacramento Bee. This may have been 20, 25 years ago, but I have no idea if that guy is still even around or even has a job. I mean, you could have a group like that and just find out how things are. I saw something on that group page this week that blew me away. They were saying that Mather Golf Course is a bit worse than Sacramento National at Hagen Oaks. And I was thinking to myself, holy smokes, I used to work at Mather as like a driving range attendant back in 1994, summer of 1994. And that was the first year that Mather Golf Course came out of its sort of military private sort of existence and became a public course. And it was a part of the Sacramento County public golf courses with Cherry Island and Ansel Hoffman, and can't think of any other one. Campus Commons wasn't a part of that yet, but I as it is now, because I thought that was a part of the umbrella, and I'm finding out that Mather isn't good anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, aren't they under that umbrella of Empire Golf that runs Ansel Hoffman, Cherry Island, and Campus Commons? I thought that was the fourth leg of the chair there on that organization underneath that umbrella. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. And they're having like a state fair senior amateur tournament there that I could probably play in, but it's like I don't know if people are liking the fact that Mather is not really held in high regard anymore. I don't know. But then there's another thing that's going on this weekend, which is that state fair amateur that's at Sacramento National at Hagen Oaks, and that's going on. That's the first time I saw Cameron Champ. There is no way I'm going to go see that, because that is it's a bit hot. It's over 100 degrees in Sacramento, and that's some pretty dedicated golf fan kind of golf there that I would have to partake in. But I'm not going to be a part of that. So it's so funny because last week the PGA Tour season ended, and this weekend there's barely any sports going on. There's only like college football that's starting up. You got Major League Baseball, and that's it. The PGA Tour is done. They have this week off, and I think they definitely have next week off. And then the week after that, they have the Procore /Safeway /Fortinet Championship out at Silverado in Napa. And lo and behold, Justin Thomas is going to be there, and also I got the message that Scotty Scheffler is going to be there, and I'm going, holy crap! What if Mr. Producer and I went there like on a Saturday, because I'm not taking him out of school for that. I'm not going to use, if you plan on seeing Scotty Scheffler, you got to assume that he's going to make the cut, okay? He's going to make the cut. Justin Thomas might not make the cut, but I would think pretty likely, in all likelihood, that Scotty Scheffler might have a good handle on making the cut there. So you might very well see him on a Saturday if you go there on a Saturday. And that's so weird because there's that weekend that's going on, and then I think a week after that they go down to like Jackson, Mississippi, and then the week after that is the Ryder Cup, because I thought the Ryder Cup was after the Safeway Open weekend, the Silverado Napa tournament. I thought it was directly after that, but it's not. That's the week, or that's the September. That's like at the end of September. And so, is the PGA Tour even having a tournament during the Ryder Cup weekend, like they do for, whenever they have the British Open, they got the Truckee National Open or whatever. I don't even know what they call it anymore. I don't even know. It's up in Truckee. Oh Lord, what is it called? The Barracuda Championship. Is it one of those deals where they have that huge Ryder Cup tournament in addition to the PGA Tour in it's like a AAA sort of thing for the PGA Tour? I don't know. Where the AAA guys show up for that. I don't even know. But anyway, it's interesting how they're scheduling that, and they're going to. I'm wondering if they got the new guy. What happened to the commissioner? What happened to the guy that we've been seeing all this time between when Live Golf started and now? What happened to him? Was the guy that was from the NFL, did he take over for him? Is that guy gone? I'm seeing that guy's kisser on the TV a lot more, or on the videos a lot more than Jay Monahan. Whoa! Is Jay Monahan gone? He gave Tommy Fleetwood. They gave Tommy Ladd the trophy for the FedEx Cup, but it wasn't Jay Monahan. It was that NFL guy who's the CFO of the PGA Tour. That is interesting. I got to look into if Jay Monahan was sacked or not. So anyway, I'm just like, whoa, that's interesting. So gotta get over. You know what? It's $71 for a ticket to go to the Pro Tour, and this is the third or fourth alliteration of the tournament that they're calling it now. They called it the Safeway Open, then they called it the Fortinet Championship. Now they're calling it the Pro Tour Championship. What the heck is Pro Tour? I gotta find that out. It's a core that's a pro. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about, but anyway, it's interesting, you know, how they're handling that, and then they go to Japan, and then what's his name has a problem with that. Who's the guy that's always complaining about having to travel? It's the guy that I saw him in Truckee at the Barracuda, and then I saw him in Safeway. Oh, I can't think of his name. He's a guy that's always complaining about that stuff. Anyway, so there's that going on. There is, you know, I came out, so it's bloody hot. It's like David Letterman said, it's hotter than hell in Sacramento, in Roseville, and you know, I just had to get out of town because I had a really hard week at work, and I just had to get out of town. Had to have some breakfast at Ren's Cafe this morning. It was really, really good. I had the pancake combo this morning at Ren's Cafe, and I just enjoyed myself a lot. I had 2 cups of coffee, and I just had a Diet Dr. Pepper. Can you tell? It's like I may have just taken speed or something like that. I'm talking like nobody's ever talked before. I was so dead tired this week, and yet now I'm just like fresh as a fiddle right now. I'm just fresh as a fiddle. I am in Petaluma right now. Petaluma, California, known for the movie of George Lucas, you know, fanfare, the American Graffiti movie. They filmed it in downtown Petaluma, and the right up when you get to the top of the hill, it's a Shell station now. It used to be a Gulf gas station. Anyway, so I drove all the way from Roseville to Vacaville to have breakfast. I stopped at Sonoma Raceway today, and lo and behold, I had 3 laps around Sonoma Raceway today. If you want to check out that video, my other YouTube channel is called The Racing Ear Podcast, and it's on YouTube. I had unbelievable footage of my phone being on, you know, my dash cam in the front of my car, and I was following a race car on the track at Sonoma Raceway, and I was like completely blown away. Like, how the heck did this happen? The Sports Car Club of America was having an event there. The Region 9 and 10 folks were having their Labor Day festivities of driving, you know, really fast around the twists and the turns in Napa Valley, and I just had a ball. It was really hot there today. No wind coming off the coast, but then it was really something. Some guy took me to the side. He's like, "Hey, you want to join us for some parade laps around Sonoma Raceway?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man." So I got some great footage of me driving around Sonoma Raceway, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so huge." Anyway, I got to take a leak here. I'm over at the In-N-Out in Petaluma. Thank you, Nissan, for letting me through. I got a parking space here. I got to get out, and I got to take a leak. I will be right back. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Knacker Golfers Podcast on the Observant Ear Radio Network. All right, welcome back to the Knacker Golfers Podcast. You join me on Highway 116, approaching Highway 37 here. This is called Lakeville Highway, and we are approaching to get on Highway 37, going east towards Vallejo, California, getting back on Interstate 80, going towards Fairfield, Vacaville, Davis. Or actually, no, you can't go through Davis because there's a whole lot of red lights going through there. Got to go between Dixon and Woodland on Highway 113 and then on Interstate 5, and then jet down to where Interstate 80 meets with Interstate 5, and then go east to Roseville, where I will probably stop at In-N-Out for dinner. and that's a good 2-hour drive. Just about enough time for me to, either talk your head off or stop again for another leak, maybe in Vacaville at that other In and Out, or the Cane's Crazy Chicken, or whatever it is, the Chick-fil-A, whatever. Vacaville, it's kind of good for what it is. My favorite restaurant in that area, in that town, is called Ren's Cafe, and I was there today. It's sort of a pilgrimage to go to this Ren's Cafe to just have a nice and simple, time capsule kind of a breakfast. That's why I love going there. And I got another coffee cup. I'm actually collecting coffee cups from this restaurant. And she's like, "Go ahead, have it. It's all beat up and whatnot." I'm like, "No, this is perfect." So I gave her. She didn't charge me anything for it, but I gave her a nice tip, and it was really nice of them to give me a coffee cup. Because I want Mr. Producer to have one. I want him to have one. Him and I, bond by not using our cell phones while we're sitting in front of each other, having a nice leisurely Saturday morning breakfast. Just with us. Just amongst us, our eyeballs are connected. We're not on the iPhone. We're not on the phone. We're noticing traffic going by the window, and we're not looking at the phone, that's better than anybody could ever have it. So, I mean, it's better to be face-to-face with somebody rather than, face to iPhone kind of situation. So, anyway, I love going there, and it's just fascinating seeing how people act in this old-style restaurant. It's just so fascinating. So anyway, I went to Bodega Harbour Golf Links today just because I needed to get out of town. This is like, previously on the Knacker Golf podcast, I was driving back from Bodega Harbour Golf Links, and explaining to you how it is that it came to pass that I was able to go to Bodega Harbour Golf Links today. And just have a great and leisurely sort of cool afternoon. And after the sunset, I was there for like 4 hours putting on this green. I could not believe how long it was. I got there. I went to the Sprouts Bread Factory in Occidental, California. You cannot pass by Occidental, California without stopping at the Wildflower Bread Company. Is that what it's called? Wildflower Bread Company in Occidental, California? I think that's what it's called. Wild Sprouts or Wildflower. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of it right now because I just had a Diet Dr. Pepper, and my voice is literally on rails right now. And I'm driving by Sonoma Raceway again. Here we are. Highway 121 meets Highway 37. I just drove by it, and now we got a bunch of braking lights because Highway 37 from this point on is a single-lane road that goes over San Pablo Bay, and hopefully, finally, sometime in the near future, this road will be finally expanded, and it will finally be able to have more than one lane on it, hopefully in the next few years. Hopefully that'll happen. And, that's a big deal here for this, because this used to be Highway 48, and then they decommissioned Highway 48, and they named it something else. And then it became Highway 37. So California Route 37 goes from the intersection it goes from US 101 to Interstate 80 in Vallejo, California. So anyway, we are through there. We are past there. We are making our way through the Conehaga Valley, actually the Napa Valley, the Sonoma Valley, whatever the hell it's called. We're on the north side of the San Pablo Bay. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I got a BMW in front of me that's flashing its red lights at me. Anyway, I'm just tickled just to be able to talk like this. I'm just talking like a freaking lunatic. I'm a lunatic about golf right now. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like a mosquito that just took some blood off of a guy that had a slice of cheese pizza and he just put Tabasco sauce on it. I'm gonna explode. That's how I feel right now. No, I'm not. I'm all right. But anyway, I had a really, really great time just going to the putting green. Sometimes you can just have a ball going to a putting green. That's all you did. That's all you could do. You know, I asked the good folks at Bodega Harbour Golf Links, how much does it cost to play 9 holes on a Saturday? And they're like, oh, it's $66. And it's, you know, backed up from here to Timbuktu. It was a bit slow out there. It's a bit slow, you know, but the conditions were really good. You know, it was really nice. You know, I thought it was really great weather accommodations. I got there a little late. It's ideal to either leave home early to have like a tee time there at maybe like 10 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of what I did once. I think I played there in June of last year, and there is a video on the Knacker Golf Podcast YouTube channel where you can check in and see how I did, you know, playing Bodega Harbour Golf Links. So there's a bit of lay of the land of, you know, what it is that Bodega Harbour Golf Links is, because it's two different golf courses. You got the sort of mountainous, terraneous front nine that is just gorgeous. I just love it. And then you got the back nine, which is sort of flat and, you know, sort of modern day with homes around it. But anyway, I just enjoy the golf course. It used to host a Nike Tour event back in the 90s, I think. And people would come from, like, you know, Santa Rosa. They used to, I think they had it at Fountain Grove too in Santa Rosa. I'm not sure. You know, this is just off the top of my head, and I just had a Diet Dr. Pepper about half an hour ago. I'm still feeling the effects of it. But anyway, I'm just like, wow, this is kind of cool. So I gotta take my never mind. Anyway, so where are we at now? Anyway, it's like Don Rickles right now. So what do we got here? So I just drove to Bodega Harbour Golf Links, and I putted on that green. I think I got there at like 4 o'clock, and I putted literally till sunset. And I brought all these clubs with me. I was doing like a photo shoot for all my Forged Golf Clubs, for all my Forged Golf Club Appreciation fans that inhabit the Forged Golf Club Appreciation page on Facebook, the Steve Kovaches of the world, who is, by the way, I guess he had a golf match with somebody that was famous coaching person back down in Oak Valley Country Club down in North Carolina. And he had a ball with this guy playing a match down at the Oak Valley CC or whatever it's called. I forgive me, Steve, I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head. But, man, those Buffalo Bills, man, they're going to finally have a dome stadium, right? They're finally going to have a dome stadium so the ball doesn't blow off to the side and miss when the guy kicks a field goal. So I'm thinking the Buffalo Bills have a chance. They certainly have a better chance than the Dallas Cowboys. You know, forgive my folks. Forgive the fans of the Forged Golf Cup Appreciation page down in Dallas. I am so sorry that your owner is Jerry Jones. I am so sorry about that. Oh, man, that trade was so unbelievable. It's like the second coming of Luka Doncic going to the L.A. Lakers. Holy smokes. What's next? Scotty Scheffler goes to Florida or something like that, moves to Florida? Oh, my God. Woo. Anyway, so I love Bodega Harbour Golf Links. I just go there to putt. You know, I just love that green, and I brought a lot of these putters with me, and I was doing this I got this basic putter that I'm going to cut a few more inches off of that, and I'm going to make it so it's a little bit more easy to get in and out of, So just, get the ball in and out of the get the ball in and out of the cup, So anyway, that should be fun. And then I was putting a lot better. I've had this Founders Club putter for a really long time, and it's one of these tour-tuned Roman numeral putters that's made out of soft carbon steel. It was a computer-milled putter, and it's a little over 35 inches, and it's a steel shaft, but it's supposed to look like it's got a graphite shaft. But I really like it. The thing feels so heavy in my hands, and I was just able to putt so well with it. But the thing is, maniacs, you got to take the golfing ball and you got to snap that shit. Anyway, I'm Gringolo. They're going to call me Gringolo, okay? Manolo is the man doing his thing down in Southern California with all of his like Bob Rosberg, okay? He had the baseball grip. He didn't putt like any normal, regular, run-of-the-mill PGA Tour player. He just gripped it like a baseball bat. He gripped it like playing baseball, and he played golf like that. There was no big deal on the grip. That's all I did, putting like that, and it was so cool. I was able to just get in and out of the putting stroke and put such a better stroke on the ball with that, and it just helped me out a lot. Oh man, just getting out of my way. I'm not doing the claw grip. I'm not doing the reverse overlap, grip. I'm just doing the baseball, one fist under another. Left fist on the top, right fist underneath it, and it's just, that's all you do. You just grip it down closer to the bottom of the grip. I was putting so well doing it like that. So it just, I love the way the ball comes off of the face of that putter. I'm using the new Kirkland signature ball that is it's the 2.0 version, and I think it's a 3-piece, and it's very, very similar to that Vice Pro Zero. I haven't played with it yet, but I'm having really good feedback with it on the putting green, and I haven't chipped it with it. I haven't hit full iron shots with it, and I haven't hit like a driver with it. But that ball really feels good off the putter face. No matter what putter you use, it really feels good. You can use a bullseye for all I know, and it still will feel good. It doesn't feel like a Pro V1, but it feels like a regular ball, and you get it's only $28, and you get 2 dozen worth of them. You get 24 balls in a pack that is, that sort of thing. And I mean, if I haven't played with it yet, I'm having a good feeling about it, but we'll see. We will see. So anyway, I got a box of those balls. It had to be like a month ago, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a month, and I really like them. They really feel good on the putting green. And so I brought a whole bunch of putters to the putting green today, and I made this one video where I was doing the same putt, whenever I would make a putt, I would change to a different putter, and then it just be like a quickie kind of thing. And I was doing well with that last time. On the YouTube channel. I made a few shorts out of it, and that was after I went to the U.S. Amateur at the Olympic Club. So I don't know. Other than the week I had, I mean, I've been hopeful about golf. The range at Sacramento National does close at midnight, and it's probably a little bit after 9 right now. I probably would be pushing it if I went there, because right now I'm approaching Vallejo, and it's 73 degrees. So you gotta take that into account. It'll be late in the night, and I am older and I do need my beauty sleep, but it's like, okay, you really gotta figure that in if you're going to hit balls that late into the night. So I haven't hit balls for a while. It's been at least 2 weeks since I hit balls. And special shout out for the gentleman that runs Utopia Golf, and he recently had back surgery, so I am thinking about him. Hope he recovers. And he's a really, really great guy to be in the golf community. And he's in Baltimore, Maryland. Utopia. I bought one of his hats a few years ago, and he's a really, really fascinating man. And I really appreciate him being out there. So special props go to Utopia Golf and Mr. Utopia himself. Get healed. Get out there, stay focused, and you'll get through it, all right? So I really appreciate that. Saw that text that he sent out on his Instagram page. Really hope he pulls through with that. So Utopia Golf, really, really great stuff. So anyway, here we are. We're approaching Vallejo, and we're going to get on to Interstate 80. And what else have we got? So I'm just like, hey, we went to the putting green today, had some good putting green footage, and I met the owner of the house that lives right next to the putting green at Bodega Harbour Golf Links. He told me a story about somebody was hitting a drive off the first tee, and the driver came out of his hand, and the club landed on his skylight, and it some yolo got on his house and stole the golf club off the skylight. And I'm like, what the hell is this country coming to? Good Lord, man. So that man is one blessed individual. He's got a beautiful home next to a beautiful golf course that's on the coast. And it was really great to meet him. So anyway, hope he likes this. Hope he likes the channel. And anyway, that's about it. You know, I'm over the bridge here in Vallejo, approaching Interstate 80, so I'm going to be on the road here, getting back to Roseville to enjoy my